Welcome to the Smarketing Show, and this week we're talking about reviews. Now, Cheryl, you've got some fancy name you came up with?
That's catchy. Pursue the review.
Okay, the best we came up with.
Had nothing to do with
Now, notice as well, Cheryl's going with no notes today, so let's see how she does. So reviews, okay, so I come up as a sales guy, we'll call it, and in the olden days, we never had this transparency where customers could actually look and say, hey, is your service department any good? Do the products you offer? And so reviews we see creeping up more and more, if not right front and center now in the B2B space, not just the B2C where you look at a restaurant or a hotel or whatever. So sales reps now, I think, should be aware of it, or sales organizations. Now, you've got some thoughts on the topic. I'll talk from a sales perspective coming up here.
Yeah, another B2B would be Better Business Bureau. That's an important one where you would see like a lot of reviews. But yeah, we're talking about, obviously TripAdvisor is popular, Yelp, Google My Business. Why is it important that you have reviews, good or bad? Two reasons. Number one, it builds trust within your brand. It is the best way to build trust within your brand. Why? Because you have a third party saying something either great or not so great about your product or service. It's more believable. They say that the first people you go to are family and friends for recommendations. The second place you go to is reviews online.
And
so that's the first reason.
third place you go to are people watching right now to give a review.
Third reason.
Use your keyboard. It's right in front of you. Trust me, you can do it.
It also increases online presence.
Yeah.
Okay, so Google algorithm, their actual search algorithm has signals that are designed to pick up on reviews. So quantity, okay, so you want to look at, how many do you have out there? You want to look at velocity and also diversity of the reviews. So that's like 8% of their search algorithm, according to Moz, which is a tool that we use here at Into, but that's a pretty significant number.
So I can tell you, like, we manage hundreds of websites. We've got like lots of sales organizations we work with, and the stats indicate, which I would support, that only 20% of companies actually have a plan in place to get good reviews, okay, and we're not talking about paying for them here, but solicit reviews and then use them in a sales format. Let me give you an example. You're a customer and I'm selling you a B2B product or service. I come in and I lay one sheet of paper down or whatever my presentation says, this is why our company's the best, this is why our product's the best, and oh, by the way, we are the best, okay? And sales rep 2 comes in and says, hey, for what it's worth, you can take my personal opinion, but it might be biased given I represent the company and these products. But what other organizations in your position are doing is they're looking at reviews, third-party reviews from customers that have actually bought and implemented our solution. And I'm not sure if the other organizations are showing you this, but you see the damage this could do? And so I don't think it's on the radar of most B2B sales organizations to include reviews in their proposals and on their website.
And in many cases, you don't have to, because they're out there. And a lot of times when you're in a position where you're in a buying stage, you're going to look it up, and it's available and it's accessible, so you can't ignore it. You have to participate in it. How do you get reviews? This is the big question. Ask for them. Ask your clients and customers. I had an Uber driver that was delivering food on Saturday nights to my house.
Go.
He asked me, rather than a tip, he said, could I get you to post a good review and give me a 5-star rating? Because I get more business and it's more valuable to me than, whatever the tip percentage.
So let me convert the Uber review into business here. Here's a stat for you. 91% of the customers you sell to would probably give a review, yet stats indicate only 11% of salespeople actually ask for a review. Now, I would say reviews as well extend well into maybe things like LinkedIn. Let's call it a recommendation, although it's not a review.
Yes,
if I'm a sales rep, a customer might look at my profile and go, okay, this guy's got some good reviews.
It's the same kind of idea, for sure. But then how do you treat a review once you have it? So you need to treat it, in my opinion, as though it were a customer survey. So you want to look at, first of all, what was the product or service they purchased from? Number 2, what was the customer experience like throughout their buying journey, let's say? And number 3, was it a good experience or was it a bad, and how do I respond to this? That's how you can learn. And you don't just want good reviews. You want bad reviews too, and you want to learn from them. It's the best way to figure out what am I doing right and what am I not doing right.
Well, we've never had a bad review, so we can't really speak to that.
Until today.
I'm kidding. Okay, look, with millennials, okay, and they're coming up the food chain, by the way, in case you don't know, the stats indicate that 86% of them will trust something called, and I looked this up, user-generated content, right? The transparency. And so as we face more and more millennials in the business community, heads up for this, and so few companies collect them, and I would argue that within a sales organization, wouldn't it be a nice thing maybe if you assigned the collection of reviews, good ones, to someone, maybe it's an admin person, maybe you tip them $10, not the customer, the person in your office, to collect those reviews, because what happens is over time the value of the review diminishes. So a review from 3 years ago isn't seen as heavily weighted as one from 2 weeks ago, because I might be in the buying decision window right now.
For sure. Two quick things I want to mention before we go. Number one, beware of fake reviews. There's a lot of them out there. The message is, if it looks like it's too good to be true, it generally is too good to be true.
So if they recognize the font I'm using in the reviews of our show, that might give it away?
I'm just saying. And then the second is, how do I get reviews? Ask for them. Ask your customers for reviews. It's the best way to do it.
They won't do it.
Likely
won't. It's a good idea, but
they will.
Ideas are only as good as their execution.
They will. If you're communicating with your customers through email, just add something in there. Hey, we'd really love to hear from you. What was your feedback? Get your reps. Encourage your reps. Whoever's out in the field, whoever's customer facing, encourage them to ask for them. That's Pursue the Review, everybody.
Pursue the Review.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any comments, engage at intocommunications.com. And coming up next week, we have a professor at a local college here to discuss digital marketing trends, how they're preparing students, and 5 things you need to look for if you're looking at hiring a digital marketing specialist for your business.
Okay, so in case you're thinking she was doing good with no notes, she was reading mine, just so you know.
See you next week.